Hello again YouTube, Enzo back bringing you another video review, and today we're going to be taking a look at Titans Returns Voyager class Galvatron with Nucleon Headmaster. And here he is, and I have waited such a long time for Hasbro to get around to doing a G1 inspired Galvatron. I couldn't wait to get my hands on this figure. I really couldn't, because the only other Galvatron I own is the Classics one, where he's a deluxe and he turns into that tank. Oh my god, did they drop the ball with that one? But I'm so chuffed that we've got an absolute proper G1 inspired cannon mode. I mean, they could have given him something else. They could have made him a tank or a jet or something like that, but I'm really chuffed that they decided to stick and give him his Transformers movie space cannon mode. Fantastic. Right, let's have a quick look at the box. I don't usually show boxes, but I thought, as I've got him here, we'll have a squiz. Because, if you didn't know already, the Titan Masters is basically a throwback gimmick to the original Headmasters. And apparently Galvatron is now a Headmaster, and he's also a triple changer. Okay, usually he's just got the space cannon mode, but I can see what Hasbro tried to do. They tried to capture a younger and better audience, and also give them a bit more to play with. So, you know, he's got a triple changer, he's a Headmaster, he's got two gimmicks, which is great. So, robot mode, space cannon mode. His new mode is a shuttle or spaceship or jet, whatever you want to call him. And obviously, the little tiny Nucleon looks very, very much a tiny, tiny little Megatron. So, yeah, cool. And here he is. Very, very good. Very, very good representation of his movie. I want to say G1. I did have the original G1 Galvatron. I looked for him. I really can't find him, because this cannon is massive. I really would have liked this to have lights and sounds, but it doesn't, which is such a shame. But yeah, I have to say, a really good representation of G1 Galvatron. And it's a Galvatron that's not a third party. It's not going to break the bank. I picked this up in my local Smith's toy store for about 20 quid. So, you know, it's doable. Quick size comparison. Let's bring in another Headmaster. This is Hardhead. So, Deluxe Voyager. Not bad there. And I have to say, I'm really enjoying these Headmasters at the moment. Very, very cool. So yeah, this is Galvatron in his cannon mode. Doesn't really do much in this mode, apart from fire. So it's not like a space cannon, more like an artillery. But nevertheless, it is absolutely cool. I do like this figure a lot. So yeah, so what we'll do now is we'll go from cannon mode to jet mode to robot mode. So the first thing you want to do, just pull these pylons apart, pull out the cannon, fold the cannon up like that. That folds over, that folds over. There's a gap here for the Headmaster to sit in, so he could just look like he's just flying around with it. I mean, that is big. I mean, let me just measure that now with hat. I mean, that's nearly the size, it's even bigger than a deluxe figure. That is one big BFG. So there we go. And then just flip the cockpit around. That piece folds over the corner like that. Fold them up like that, and you can see I've already got Nucleon in the cockpit. Now what you want to do is just pull up slightly like that to bring the shoulder pieces up, and then fold these pieces around so what will be the forearms are sitting on the top. Grab hold of the treads and fold them down like that. Next thing you want to do, split the legs, pull them out like that to extend them. And then inside what will become his knee pads, there's a little tiny, if I can show that a bit better too, there's a little tiny port there, and that's going to tab, and you'll see it's exactly the same shape as this tab on his shoulder. So what you want to do is bring it up like that, tab that in nice and securely, and that's pretty much it. Same again on this side, bring it in, tab it into that tab on the shoulder, and then we just take the gun, post, hole, stick that in like that, and there you have Galvatron in his jet mode. Pardon me, but yeah, it's okay. It looks, from that angle, it looks okay. And then you come around to the side, and a lot of people have said, oh, this is more like an afterthought, because it doesn't really look very tidy in the back here, really. It just looks like he's got his arms folded up and his legs split open on the cockpit. It's okay. It does look okay. Not my favourite mode. I much prefer the space can mode, but yeah, it's okay. You don't have to have that on at all. You could just have him like that. I think that makes it look a lot better. But yeah, and treads at the bottom, so can't really roll or anything. But again, a really nice. It's a nice touch. It's a nice touch. But there we are. And to get him into robot mode, all we do is untab the legs, bring them down like so, flip out his feet, come around to the back, grab the panels, fold these in just to cover all that gappage in the back there. Sometimes they do tab in, sometimes they don't. There we go. Stay tab in and nice and secure. Separate the pylons. Flip the cockpit over like that. Pull down on this spoiler just to relieve the chest. And then what you do then, you rotate the whole thing around like that. And then rotate the legs around. There we go. Unpeg the arms from the shoulders. Flip this all the way around. And then just come in here then and try and pull out the fists. This one is nice and easy. This one I always seem to have trouble with. The wrist is much more... Oh, do you hear that? That wrist is much more heavily detented. Come around to the back here. Pull out Nucleon. And he fits in there really, really snugly. And then what I do is I fold that down like that. Sorry, you couldn't see that, could you? Oh, there we go. You pull out Nucleon like that. And then it's up to you what you do with this end. You can either leave it down like that. What I prefer to do is pull it up and leave it like that. At the very least then we have Galvatron's body. And we'll just set him off to the side then. And I'll just give you a quick look at Nucleon. If you have a good look at his head, you'll know that he is basically a teeny Megatron. He's just all grey plastic. The only features he has is his eyes are painted there and his eyes are painted there. Standard articulation for these. Ball jointed shoulders like that, and fused hips and knees. So there we go. And then just to put him in into head mode, just basically fold him in half, and that's a pretty good looking Galvatron head. If this was painted purple and just had a bit more spikes, he'd look alright. And then a lot of people do have trouble. You have to turn his head to face the other way to fit him in. I don't have that problem, so you just basically tab him in there. 1, 2, 3, in he goes, and he's nice and secure. And there's one more feature on this figure, or play value I should say. Let's make sure that I get that right. There we go. You just flip down his chest like so, and up comes the head crest. And there we have G1 inspired Combiner Wars Galvatron. And then you take his cannon, plug it into the forearm, and there you go. That is Galvatron, and he does look absolutely effing amazing in robot mode. I do like this a lot. I've waited such a long time to get a good looking Galvatron like this, and I have to say it's been well worth the wait. Now, he's not without his flaws, I'll be perfectly honest now. With the head crest up like that, let me put it back down for a second. With the head crest down, you can use the headmaster's own head joint there, so you can have full articulation. You can move him up and down, wiggle him around, no problems at all. Once you use the gimmick, that is stuck. That is not going anywhere. So he can not look anything but straightforward, which is a shame. So that's one of the biggest gripes I have with this figure, because they've made a really nice cannon mode, a really nice robot mode, and then I feel as if they've dropped the ball at the last minute. I know why they've done it, because if they had this on the headmaster, he wouldn't fit in the cockpit and things like that. So it's a nice idea, but they've limited the head, which I think is wrong. So with the crest on, with the head crest on, that's it. he can't move. Shoulders are on ratchets, they can move in and out. Move the pylons out of the way, he can do a full 360. He has a double jointed elbow, which helps with transformation. The wrists are on like detented joints, so they can go in and out. Unfortunately, they can't swivel, which annoys me because this figure has exactly the same problem as fists fold out, but they're on mushroom pegs and they can rotate. So why not this figure? There's little things like that bug me. So there we go. He can rotate at the waist, but obviously the cockpit plays a big part. If it was just this part, it wouldn't be so bad. So he has waist articulation, which is good. These side skirts move up and down. They don't do nothing for transformation, but they're a nice little feature. Hips are on swivels and ratchets, so you can go forward, they can go back, in and out. Standard mushroom peg thigh swivel, and he can bend just over 90 at the knee. And what's a really good thing, you've got his foot there is on the hinge, so you can go back and forth, and there's also swivels there, so you can have a little bit of ankle articulation. Again, which is good. So you can get this figure into some really, really nice poses. Another problem I do find with this figure is his cannon. What they've done with the cannon is they've put holes either side of his biceps, one there, one there. I think they're in the wrong place. If it was on this side, if it was like that, then fair enough. But it can only hold the cannon like that. So that kind of hinders a lot of the posability. So if you get him into a really good pose now, like he's going to blow Starscream to pieces, and you get him something like that, then obviously, what can you do? That's it. All you can do is look straight forward. You can't see him at all. Again, which is a shame. But I would still recommend you picking this figure up because it is a really, really good figure. So let's do a quick size comparison now. Let's bring in Leader Class Ultra Magnus, so you can see the true extent of the size difference. So there's Magnus and there's Galvatron. I really would have preferred it if Galvatron was a leader, so they're basically on par with each other. I think, they would look awesome together. But unfortunately, this is what we've got. It's not too bad. I know Magnus is a bigger bot in general, but obviously if he's going to be leader, like Megatron and the other repainter, Armada-inspired Galvatron, I'm sorry, like Optimus Prime, they should be all lead, Galvatron, Megatron, things like that, they should be leader class. They should be a certain size. So, again. So, I do recommend this figure. I think it's a really good figure. Oops, sorry, you can't stand up at the moment. There we go. Let me get your knees correct, get you balanced. A very, very good figure. Obviously, the treads on the back of the forearms, they don't hinder it that much as I thought they were going to be, but I do find this cockpit rather annoying. It spoils it. If you didn't have that there now, he would look so much cleaner. Which brings me on to my next problem is I'm not. So what I'm going to do now is there are a couple of mods that you can do to this figure. First thing I'm going to be doing, which I will be doing and showing you in another video review, I will be removing this entire section. Even though the jet mode is nice, it's not for me. I don't really like it. I would prefer a nice clean silhouette on the back here, a more G1 inspired Galvatron. So I'll be popping this pin out and I will be removing the cockpit. I'm also going to be taking this part off and flipping it around and trying to attach it like that. So if you remember, so it looks a bit more G1 inspired there. The head crest, a lot of people, what they've done is they like to cut it off basically, and I don't know if you can see all the marks there off the press and stuff. There's a lot of extra plastic there, and when the mask comes up, it doesn't quite fit snugly to Nuclear on there, so you can't really see his eyes on it. You can see there's a bit of a gap there. So what you can do is cut this off, cut this piece off here, just have the purple and cut the black off, and you can sand it down and glue it to the headmaster's face. And I'm pretty sure, because there's a big chasm here, so I'm pretty sure that will fit in there. So you don't have to worry about the cockpit. You can store Nucleon in the chest with the head on. And also what other people have done as well is they've sanded down these fins either side of his forearms. They've been sanded down, and a hole has been drilled in his forearm, and another hole has been drilled there on the upper bicep. I am not going to do that because you've got a hole there already and a hole there. You can seriously weaken and damage the plastic, and then one day you're going to put him in a pose. If you put too much pressure on that, pop, his arm's going to break off, and then what you're going to do basically. So, so no. There are 3 ways that I found to counter this. The first thing you need to do, you need to go to Shapeways, shapeways.com. That's what I've already done. I've already placed my order. I have ordered 3 items for this figure. I have ordered the Canon adapter, which basically plugs in here and puts a port on this side. It'll fit on either arm, whichever you want to do. So that's one solution. I've also ordered a G1 inspired helmet. So you don't need to do this mod. You can just basically plonk a helmet straight on him. And another thing I've also ordered is a G1 inspired cannon. So it's a little bit, this will be great. In cannon mode, this is going on straight away. Just fold it back like that, plonk that in like that. That, for cannon mode, that I'll be using. In robot mode, I find it a little bit bulky and unwieldy. So obviously with that attachment on the outside now, I'll have a bit of a smaller cannon as well. And I think that's going to look a lot better. So those are the 3 upgrades I've ordered from Shapeways. I ordered them yesterday, so they're in the manufacturing process at the moment. So fingers crossed, I should get those maybe between the 6th and the 9th of September. As soon as I get them, I'll review them, get them on there, and let you know how I get on. So yeah, absolutely really good figure. Does have some problems, but obviously there are problems that can be rectified. I don't know if there's going to be any upgrade kits from any of the other major third-party suppliers. I'm not 100% sure. So at the moment, I'm going to go down the Shapeways route. And the good thing about the attachment is the plastic doesn't quite match. But then again, if you look in the back, these threads, I don't know if it's going to show up on camera, but believe me, to the eye, these threads are a different plastic, different shade of purple, I should say, and also this back fin. So it doesn't bother me that the helmet might be a little bit different or the adapter might be a bit different. So there we go. We'll take it like that. So there we are. So diolch yn fawr, thank you very much. Please comment, rate and subscribe if you've enjoyed my video review. And please stay tuned for more. And also when the Shapeways upgrades arrive, I'll get them sorted, put them on Galvatron. I'll do a review on that and you guys let me know what you think. Until then, diolch yn fawr, ta-ra.